Hello and welcome to the newly redesigned Delta Beat. I'm Ron Verhage and I'll be your host. This semester, the Delta Beat will be packed with new content. Between our latest headlines and our new segments, there will be plenty to see. First, here are some stories to look for in our first issue for the winter semester and online. Collegiate staff reporter Steele Wynn reports on the effects of seasonal depression. Also, the time to apply for scholarships is now. Zach Parfenek talked to Delta staff members this past week to give you the best advice on how to increase your chances of getting a scholarship. Now time for our Delta Sports segment. Take it away, Joe.
Thanks, Robin. What up, guys? It's Editor-in-Chief Joe Thornton here, and new year, same sports coverage, so we're going to start with Delta College Sports. First things first, we got the women's basketball team who just fell short yesterday in a loss to Macomb Community College, and it was a pretty big loss, but they're hoping to bounce back. They're 3-7 on the season. Look at the men's basketball team. They also suffered a loss. It was their first on the season. Coach McMath had some words. We talked about it, and I'm going to have that story coming soon. Now, this puts the men's basketball team to 9-1 on the season, and they're hoping to bounce back. It's a pretty competitive conference, but I believe in them to get it done. Looking past Delta Sports, we got the NFL, and the AP Pro Team rankings just came out today, and I'm excited to see what's going on in the future for the NFL. We got a lot of rookies with promising talent, and the Colts are the first team in such a long time to have 2 All-Pro rookies on their team, with linebacker Darius Leonard and guard Quentin Nelson. I love to see this young talent, and I'm excited to see what happens in the future. Back to you guys.
Alright, this next segment is where news editor Michael Povarsky shares the latest and greatest fabricated news with us. Michael?
Thanks, Robin. What's up, everyone? Mike Povarsky here. And as we hop into the new year, I would like to take some time to reflect on a couple of the fake news stories that have stood out to me particularly, as reported on factcheck.org. Last December, a viral meme circulated online showing a picture of a $23.9 million mansion that supposedly belongs to the current Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. The mansion, located on San Francisco Bay, has been verified to not belong to Pelosi. However, she does live with her husband in a $2.3 million mansion located in the same neighborhood. The $23.9 million mansion is owned by 2728 Pacific LLC, who have confirmed that the Pelosi family is in no way involved in ownership of the house. People sharing the meme online approach it from the angle that Pelosi is an entitled rich politician who called the GOP tax cuts crumbs while living in the lap of luxury herself. A fair point, though. A $2.3 million house in San Francisco is still pretty upper class in my view. And also, Pelosi has been verified to be one of the richest members in Congress. And this one made me laugh when I first saw it. A fabricated quote from the late Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain has surfaced on the internet. The quote, dated 1993, is Cobain's supposed prediction of the Trump presidency. Then the quote reads as follows: "In the end, I believe my generation will surprise everyone. We already know that both political parties are playing both sides from the middle, and we'll elect a true outsider when we fully mature. I would not be surprised if it's not a business tycoon who can't be bought and who does what's right for the people. Someone like Donald Trump, as crazy as that sounds." Nirvana's manager Danny Goldberg has since flat out debunked the quote as completely made up and has also called it a perversion of Kurt's beliefs. As for Cobain's actual political beliefs, he went so far as to call Republicans the incarnation of Satan in a 1993 interview. Well, that was fun. I'll be back next time with more debunked fake news stories. And before I go, I'd like to share a little bit of advice. Don't believe everything you read on Facebook or the whole internet. Think like a reporter. Verify sources, check for credibility and timeliness. Don't let yourself be deceived by fake news. Well, I'm Mike Povarsky, and this has been a look back at fake news from the last year. Back to you, Robin.
Last but not least, we have a new segment for you media buffs. Let's send it over to Zach.
Thanks, Robin. Hi, I'm Zach Parfenek, and this is my Media Minute, where I tell you about a certain book, movie, play, video game, whatever that's come out recently that I think you'd like to know about. Let's put 1 minute up on the clock. This week I'm talking about Sony's Into the Spider-Verse. After coming out recently this month as one of the most popular and recognizable superheroes of the bunch, you can bet people were excited to see the new Spider-Man movie. But does it deliver? I'd say yes. The film centers on Miles Morales, a New York teen who's struggling with school, his parents, and his friends. One day, while practicing graffiti, he's bitten by a radioactive spider, and by now, you can guess the rest. One event leads to another, and he comes across Peter Parker, the Spider-Man of another universe, and eventually you'll be seeing a bunch of different spider people, spider things running around all on one screen. The animation is also fantastic. It blends 2D and 3D animation seamlessly, mixing it with a comic book art style that's just wonderful to look at. There's some points in the film where Miles' inner thoughts collect themselves above his head in the form of speech bubbles, and just that kind of art direction makes me gush. It's such a breath of fresh air for superhero movies in general, as most don this gritty, realistic style that can be nice to look at, but just sort of wears thin the more and more you see it. We need a lot more love for animated films in general, so if you're going to see any film at the start of the new year, this is definitely one of my recommendations. Back to you, Robin.
Once again, I'm Ron Verhage, and you've been watching The Delta Beat.